Alright, what up you schmucks? We're gonna be doing some degen shit today. We're gonna be playing Smash or Pass featuring V-Dere. But I'm gonna lay down a few rules to make it fair. No fan art, no skills, no lore, no personality, and no talent behind the model, cause that would be too easy. We're only judging them based on their current base models only. With that being said, let's get this shit rolling. I like Elia's soft aura, and the white shirt underneath is surprisingly skin tight. It doesn't just cover the outward shape of her tits, you can also see it pressing against her under boobs. It perfectly captures the shape of her chest area, which is absolutely breathtaking. However, I'm not a fan of everything else. The model barely shows any skin, the coat she wears is pretty large and baggy, it blocks her hips and a portion of her thighs, it doesn't tightly hug her body, and it greatly expands outwards, therefore making up most of the model. The legs are nice, but I don't think it makes up for it. Pass. Along with showing a good amount of skin, the clothes she wears is tight and complements her sex appeal. The crop top perfectly hugs her tits, and because it's the only white part of the model, it visually highlights her chest area in terms of color, but that's not all. The belt underneath also highlights them visually and physically. It's black in contrast with her white crop top, and it tightly wraps around her under boob. Very clever use of colors and practicality. The skirt is short enough where it reveals her thighs and legs. They're also complemented by fishnets and this garter for asymmetry. Smash. I like the pectorals, and I like Spica's doll-like figure, but that's pretty much it. I find her hair to be pretty distracting. It makes up a good portion of the model, and the dress she wears is pretty average. The blue skirt blocks her hips and a good portion of her thighs. Pass. And lastly, we got my Oshi, Mozu. Not only does she have the most smashable model in V-Dere, but it's one of the most smashable models I've seen in the VTuber space. First, let's get the obvious out of the way. The model shows a lot of skin, and the sex appeal is cranked up to 11. Whenever I look at Mozu's chest, I think of world peace. If Mozu crushed my skull with her giant bowling ball tits, I would die a happy man with no regrets. The waist is also pleasing to look at. Personally, I think tummies are very underrated, and the shading puts an emphasis on that. I also love the color palette, not just as an aesthetic choice, but also as a design choice. If you close your eyes and open them, the first thing you'll see is her face, and that's because the green around that area is bright and vibrant. As you look from her eyes to her beads, it smoothly transitions to a dark green, that being the pasties on her tits. Then it transitions to her thongs, which is very thin and visually striking, in contrast with her light skin. As you can see, the green highlights her sex appeal. As for the orange, it's just there for visual charm, and that's not even 100% of her power. She can also take off her jacket, revealing even more skin. The ripped clothes make her look like a messy gal, and it highlights the asymmetry of her legs. And lastly, the best part of what makes this model so amazing is her bare feet. I can't believe the artist would just show us that for free. Each of her toes feels like they were drawn by a Renaissance painter. I feel like my fucking soul was cleansed of all my sins. This is clearly the crown jewel of this model. Everything else is just a plus. Easy smash. Alright, that's all the members in V-Dere. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, and sub to the channel. Who knows, maybe you'll get to bang your Oshi. I'd see ya.